It's your boy Coach Defense here. Thanking you for supporting the channel. Become a lockdown defender by hitting that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And if you're enjoying your time, hit that like button. Help us grow in the community. Now check out our latest video. Leave a comment. And as always, you got to step up to lock it down. We've getting into our sports talk series. If you watched our show from earlier, we're bringing back sports talk NFL Insiders this week, and that's why analysts break down different teams around the league and give us a deep dive of what's going on for their respective franchises. And this week, we'll take a trip up to Windy City, and the Chicago Bears. We're going to take a trip up to Chicago. So we got our guy here that's going to tell us how he feels about his cardiac Bears. So. So we're gonna take we'll take a drive over to the Windy City and get into what's going to happen with this new release on life when they have when you guess you can call the new regime Bears and their new quarterback. So we're gonna dial up the Lockdown Defense Network telephone line, and we're gonna bring out our guy. I got Tyler Chestnut. What's going on, good brother?
What's going on, fellas? What's going on? Glad to be here.
What's happening with you?
Indeed. Well, how are you? We're glad to have you back on the show. It's been a minute. We definitely have to bring you back on as much as possible. But busy schedules and things of that nature, will drive you away. But you're here now. You're here now. So give us the rundown. What's going on with you, and tell us what you're looking forward to when it comes down to Chicago's new man in town.
I'm gonna start this off that I'm a converted man. Leading up to the draft, I was on the train of I'm still a Fields guy. I love him. I don't care what nobody says. I love him.
We still wave our pop-offs to Justin too.
I got to root for the Steelers this year. I got to root for him in the background, to support him. But I was on the train of look, let's trade the pick. Let's get this whole boatload. You know what I mean? We could we only move down to 4 or 5. We can get draft picks, future. Now that I'm seeing the clips, now that I'm seeing the highlights, now that the draft has happened, it's all right, I love you, Justin, but yeah, you used to have a little time reading defenses sometimes, holding the ball a little long. I still love you, brother.
Somebody's converted.
Yeah.
I've seen a little bit of the light. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm tempering my expectations. It's been a long time. It's been, since Mitch's second or third year with the double doink. So, to have a team where it's all right, we got people in the right places. We got a schedule that benefits us. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what Caleb can do. I'm more excited about Rome, to be honest.
Okay.
I've been a big fan of his.
Kurt's guy. Kurt is a Roma Doomsday aficionado. So yeah, that's his guy. Definitely that. Definitely that. So yeah. So we're going to put you on the hot seat a little bit. We got some questions for you. We want to get some perspective on what's going to happen with the Bears from your mindset. So let's jump right into it, man. Let's get into it. So, like I said, we're doing our Sports Talk NFL Insider series, and we're going to see who's holding it down in Chi-Town. So, in talking about that particular aspect of everything, we got 4 questions here for our guy, and we want to try to get his perspective on different facets, and there's a lot going on in Chicago. You got a new quarterback, first round draft pick, first overall. You got to coach this in flux. I feel like this is an itch. It's a make it or break it year for him. You got a hard knock draft class. So, and then like you said, the schedule is favorable for you guys. So we would definitely want to understand exactly how things are going to shake out. But we can't do anything without talking about the number one guy first and foremost. So, when you get down to talking about Caleb Williams, what is your expectations for him in year one? Because everybody seems to have a different opinion. Everybody seems to think. We've even had a conversation on this pod about Nick Rice saying that he thinks that Caleb could take the Bears to the Super Bowl in year one. He thinks he's that talented. Mahomes comparisons. You got, it's a lot. Everybody has a space from anywhere from just don't lose. Don't be picking number 5 in the draft overall again, or we gotta go to the playoffs. It's a wild myriad of different opinions. So, from your perspective, what do you feel like Caleb's expectations are for you? What do you think will be a good season for him?
So I always temper it with Peyton Manning's rookie year, right? So probably arguably top 3 quarterback, top 5 all time, right?
Right.
He was 27 and 27 his first year. like 27 touchdowns, 27 picks, something like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, if Peyton Manning is doing that, and granted, you got guys like what's his name? Sheesh, brain's not working. Dude for Texas that was lights out last year.
Oh, CJ Stroud.
Stroud's the truth, and I got a lot of appreciation for him when I was watching him with Micah Parsons on their podcast, going back and forth, like his knowledge of the game.
Right.
And I think back to Caleb. The first time I ever saw Caleb play was his first time at Oklahoma. They were playing Texas, and Ritter got pulled, or Rattler got pulled. He came in and just lit Texas up, and I'm like, yeah, I know it's the Big 12. I'm like, but who is this kid?
Right.
Like, who is this guy? And that's how I knew. That's when I first knew about him. So I'm basing a lot of it on. Yeah, I saw USC. I saw the Heisman season, but him coming into that game at that time, in that rivalry and playing like that, I'm like, he can handle Chicago. So I'm not expecting we've never had a 4,000-yard passer, right? I'm not expecting no 4,000 yards, even though we got weapons everywhere.
Right.
Like, he's got to get used to the speed of the game. Like we don't the division is not a cakewalk. You know what I mean? Like the Packers are still the Packers. The Lions are still good. Vikings are trash, but that's okay. We still got to play. We got the 49ers on the schedule. So I mean, like it's not just going to be like he just go out there and just light it up. But if he can give me like 3-to-1 touchdown interception ratio, give me like 25 touchdowns. I would take 25 and 15 to be honest. Right.
Okay.
And again, wins again. We won 7. And we blew 4 games in the fourth quarter, like 4, and that was with Justin, with a mediocre defense for the first 10 games, with everything going wrong. So I mean, we can get 10 wins. I'm good. And I don't think that's outside the realm of expectations, based on what they brought in to help him out with. Like we got weapons everywhere. So
yeah, I totally agree. I mean, we're talking 3 good receivers, 2 good tight ends, an improved O-line. An improvement in the backfield. I still think Roschon Johnson is going to be a breakout for y'all. So yeah, I definitely got weapons galore, man. I definitely believe that. And I tell people, because Kurt and I have ties to Caleb. He came through the Bowie program, as a boys club member, and but we don't look through this through bulldog glasses. We look through it through football analyst glasses. Is what we do here on the pod. So. I would say, just like any rookie, I would say that just learn how to be a good quarterback, learn how to be a good pro. Just let the game come to you, let it take care of itself. Would be my expectations for him. You can't let it be a situation where you have to honestly think that everything has to go right. Day one. It's going to be some bumps in the road. It's going to be some. Growing pains. Just learn the game, learn how to be a good pro. To your point, learn the speed of the game, learn the different nuances. Things are going to be different. They're going to throw different things at you week to week. Understanding what it's like to be a professional football player. That's really all you should be worried about. And let the coach, let the defense, and let your veteran teammates, pick you up and carry you, where they need to get you to. Everybody looks at the quarterback as being the leader, but again, this kid is, early 20s. So you got guys like Keenan Allen, who's 30, he's been in the league, over 8 years. So you got to look at it from a perspective that it's going to be a collaborative effort, and you just have to understand that just focus on it being in the moment and taking one step at a time. And I think he'll be fine. I think he has all the talent in the world to do what's needed to be done on the field. It's just the mental aspect of it is one thing he really has to worry about for me. So we'll see how things go for him in that perspective. But I think that this might be the first time in your lifetime and mine that we've seen a really generational style quarterback the child might end up having. It's just whether or not you handle him right.
We forget about Jay Cutler.
I did forget about Jay.
Jay was Jeff George on steroids. Like he just every game was like a heartbeat away from like either it's going to be a dime from 60 yards out or a 4-pick interception game to D'Angelo Hall. You just don't know what you're getting. You don't know what you're getting with Jay.
Exactly. I think you have a much steadier and more consistent version of quarterback with Caleb. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. Yeah. Kurt, what you got on this particular subject?
You all hit great points, and I'll just follow up with a couple of things. One, we've heard it over and over, and it's almost cliche at this time. And I think Caleb does a good job of killing the noise, but using it as fuel as well. Pay attention to what is being said, but don't pay so much attention that you lose attention to what you have to do, right? People are going to feel whatever they want, and they're going to say whatever they want. But I think the reason why this is going to benefit Chicago is because Caleb has been through being on the doubting stage since high school, right? And so from why is a freshman starting and going through that, and then getting to why is he going to Oklahoma, where there's already at the time a Heisman Trophy candidate there. Why is he doing that, right? Then why is he going to USC? And then everything that came out with the Bears situation, from if he's not, some of the, I'm gonna deviate, but some of the crazy things that people run with amazes me. Well, he's not going to go to, at the time, Chicago, unless they give him part ownership. Anybody that's saying that, how much football do you not know? Do you not know that one of the rules is that there is no way humanly possible that you can be an active player and under the table, on top of the table, beside the table, inside the table, that you're going to have any ownership stake in the team that you're playing for?
But you know what? A lot of that stuff is honestly true. And I think we talked about this. A lot of that stuff is actually internal NFL fodder. Like it's literally NFL teams saying these things to try to draw your interest away from him for some reason. Like I'm trying to draw three narratives that I can drum up to say that maybe I'll think twice about picking him, and he'll fall down to me, and I don't have to spend a king's ransom to come up to get it. So that a lot of that stuff is NFL. It's almost like NFL soap opera stuff. Like I'm just gonna reality TV. I'm just gonna start these narratives and hoping that it sullies his reputation to the point where I can get my hands on it.
You know what it's like? It's as if you have a young lady that you have your eyes on, and I do too. So I tell you all the things, how horrible she is, how much she's out in the streets, how unloyal she is, and all that, only for you to walk away. And the next thing you know, who come pulling up to Chick-fil-A with her in the passenger seat? And you like, you dirty mother. I thought she was dirty. I thought she wasn't loyal. She's loyal enough for you, huh?
Exactly. Exactly.
She wasn't right for you.
Right. He wasn't right for you, but she's right for me. I was saving you. I was thinking about you.
Right. I want better for you, not me.
Yeah. Let me take on the toxicity of this moment. Right. But just to sum up, what I look at is follow the blueprint, and this is what I love about Caleb is he's a historian of the game. He studies the game, but follow the blueprint of successful quarterbacks, right? I think he's a tremendous leader. You've never heard anyone on any team say he doesn't care about his teammates. So I think when he gets to Chicago, they're quickly going to see that. A lot of his leadership you don't see on social media, which I love. He does behind the scenes, taking care of his teammates. He's walking in, but follow the blueprint of, as the quarterback, the ultimate job is to get the football in your playmaker's hands. I am going to give the Chicago Brass a tremendous amount of credit. And it was spooky to see him, Caleb, on the plane with Rome. All of a sudden, they throw in together, and next thing you know, they damn drafted. They teammates. So now when you look at what Chicago has done, Caleb is in, and many people have proclaimed this, he is in one of the best situations that a first-round draft pick can be in. Because many times if you're going first, that's because the team is garbage. Yep. But what they did in the span of a year, give it to the GM and listen, shoot, New York Giants, I know you're pissed right now because you see what a GM can do.
We're going to get into that.
We're going to get into that. So when looking at Caleb, I'm not going to tell you how to play quarterback. You've forgotten more quarterback play than I can remember. But what I will say, in those moments, remember, you have a DJ Moore, you have a Rome Odunze, you have a Cole Kmet, you have DeAndre Swift. At the end of the day, The game is about having one more point on your side than the other team. If they call you check down Charlie and you winning, who gives a hot damn? Check it down, throw the short, take what they give you and utilize everything to your advantage and let the game come to you and just go from there. But I'm, you know, there's two people on here and definitely three that are rooting for you in your own unique way, whatever you play the quarterback role, whatever way you redefine it. It's just great to see now a quarterback that we can remember that's worth something in Chicago. And I'm looking forward to it because Keenan Allen, Rome, DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, DeAndre Swift, Khalil Herbert. Listen, I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do. He's going to have his rookie bumps, but we may see a CJ Stroud situation rebirthed in Chicago.
Well, I'm not going to go that far, and that's going to lead into our next topic.
That's why I said we may see CJ light, like a sprinkle, like on a donut. We see a CJ sprinkle.
I will say that he might be, arguably, he might be in a better situation weapon-wise than CJ was in year one.
Yeah.
It might be neck and neck now, but in year one, he definitely got, on paper, he looks better offensively.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the question comes in, though, is about coaching. Because I have been highly critical.
What's that audio sound? Wah, wah, wah. Yeah.
I have been highly critical of Matt Eberflus. All right. I've said on multiple occasions that I don't feel like that he, especially with this offensive leaning league, is the right guy. I feel like he was over his skis last year. I'm really concerned, to be honest with you, from my own personal perspective, how he's going to handle the amount of talent. Now, Brian Posner did exactly what he needed to do. He's giving them all the keys to the castle. Get all the tools in the tool belt to get it done and build this house and get it done right. But will he, between him and the new offensive coordinator, because he pulled a fast one, on us and fired the OC and decided to, bring in a different guy thinking that would save his ass. But I don't know if that's going to be enough if this team does not improve. Because to Tayo's point earlier, he said that they won 7 games and they lost 4. What was it? Fourth quarter. So if you can even split that in half, or you're looking at 9 wins. So if y'all not at least 9 and 8, with this team, I really think by Thanksgiving we're going to hear a lot of rumblings that seat is going to be hot. So, and you have to go back to the drawing board and bring in a guy that's going to flourish, that's going to help, really take Caleb's career to where it needs to be, and help him flourish. But
so we brought in Waldron, right?
Yes, so he's from Seattle.
Yeah. So it's funny because my daughter's a Seahawks fan.
Okay.
So she got her own opinion, and Seahawks fans in general got their own opinion. Like, he was trash. I'm like, wait a minute though. He was there with Geno. And when Geno got there, it was like nobody was expecting anything from Geno. And Geno had so far the last 2 seasons, Geno looked like an NFL quarterback. Now, granted, he got weapons. He got DK, he got Tyler. He got Kenneth in the backfield. So he got weapons. So Eberflus is a defensive coach, right? Like that's his thing.
Yes,
defense got better.
Right.
Like,
you did.
Over the last 7-8 games of the year, we were playing lockdown defense for the most part, outside that Packers game.
Unintended.
Right? Yeah. When we were getting it done. Second, one thing you got to put the better picture of Eberflus. This is the old Eberflus. Now he got the beard.
I did that on purpose.
he's a different man now. He's cool daddy now.
Yeah,
he's operator now. Yeah. But no, so it's just like with Mike McCarthy, right? It's the NFL coach at the NFL coaching level, in-game coaching, timeouts, replays, late game adjustments. Like that's where you make your halftime adjustments. That's where you make your money. You know what I mean? Like because you're basically the CEO of an organization. So you got vice presidents to do offense and defense, special teams, etc. But you got to make the big decisions, and that's where he dropped the ball last year, and especially early in the season. We lost like the first 5 games, but we should have won like 2 or 3 of those games.
Right,
and that cost us the playoffs. We were only 1 game out of the playoffs. So, he's got to make those adjustments. I think just the fact that that there's a lot more trust in Caleb already than John. I just know. They didn't trust Justin at all.
I agree.
Everything was a wide receiver screen. if they threw one more wide receiver screen, I was gonna lose. Like it was so bad. The fact DJ Moore had the season he had with all those screens is amazing. It's so bad. So he already trusts him more. Now I know he's not going to air it out. He's defensive coach. He's gonna want to run the ball, play action. That's all fine. But he's got to do a better job of the decisions. I agree. He was in over his skis. I'm not gonna lie about that. But this is the first team he's had where he's like, I have an offense to go with my defense now. Right. So he's just fingers crossed at this point in time.
All right, let me hear it. Is Eberflus the answer, a head coach?
Yeah.
Oh, is Eberflus the answer? So let me think about, would you put water in your gas tank and expect the car to drive?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Okay. I just, sometimes, I've had some hits in the head and the elevator doesn't always go to the top, so I just wanted to check, right? I will give credit, as Teo said, listen, and we've said this on the podcast and we've said this many times, whatever your specialty is or whatever your strength, we at least expect that when you become especially a head coach, right? So when we look at the Jets, defensive head coach, the defense should be much better. Offensive head coach, the offense should be much better. When you look at Eberflus, as we said, defense got better. That's cool. You're doing what you're supposed to do. The great ones are able to bring in the people that are strong in the areas that they are not, that can make them successful. And when they do that, they are able to ascend to that next level, right? Too many times we don't see that. We see somebody, and I'm not saying this is Eberflus right now, but we see a Eberflus who will bring people in that don't counter or complement what they are strong or weak in. They bring in people like them, and there's a whole bunch of unified people in the same room, but no one has a strength in the other side or the other part of the puzzle. And so what ends up happening is you can have a great defense, but you don't score over 8 points where everybody else is scoring 25 to 30, right? So the thing about, you look at a person like Dan Campbell in the division. What did Dan Campbell do? He compiled people with the same characteristics, but complements to what he was doing, right? So he didn't bring all in special team people. There's Glenn, strong defense. There's the offensive coordinator who's a hot candidate. So he put all the pieces together, but they wanted to identify each other as the same mental characteristics. So when looking at Eberflus, look, he's on the hot seat, but he's not. So every day he comes, he needs to be dust. Coach, you're gonna remember this. And I hope they're not watching right now.
Okay.
But you about to catch where I'm going with this. He needs, if Caleb has pancakes, cut the pancakes. If Caleb needs his shoes tied, tie his shoes. As long as Caleb doesn't become 6-shooter, then he will be. You know where I'm going. You know who I'm talking about.
Thomas is watching on Instagram right now. I just want to let you know. Thomas is watching on Instagram right now. I'm just gonna put it out there. As you say that, when you start saying that, I was like, oh, let me look at Instagram. He's watching. He watching. Thomas watching Instagram. So be ready for a comment.
So all I'm saying is he should make sure he keeps praying that Caleb in Rome in this class is the answer for him to keep his seat and keep his job, because there's no way you bring in this and rebuild this team like this and you don't. What did you say, Coach? 9 and 8?
I said 9 and 8. Yeah. Mm.
That if he's writing down his goals by hook or crook, he got to go 9 and 8.
I agree.
He has to go 9 and 8. He cannot have a 7 and 10 season. No. He can't have a 6 and 11 season. He damn can't have an 8 and 9 season. He gonna have to steal a couple and win the ones that he's supposed to win. Because if not, I've never seen another quote unquote first year head coach that's on a hot seat like he is.
Right. Well,
but is he the answer?
Yeah, he's not a first year head coach, but this might be his last if he doesn't.
Yeah, I call him first because it's the whole rebuild now of the Bears.
First time he had a positive outlook on his roster. Yes.
But it's not looking good. The characteristics of a person don't change, and even with Justin, yes, I get it, but sometimes you see coaches. Coach Mike Tomlin says he loves going against coaches that run from coaching. Many times you can see the greatness of a coach when they're in situations that are not all the way together, but they find a way to gel things, to put pieces together, to coach up the kids that they have. And you could be like, oh, if he gets more weapons, he's going to be dangerous. I don't see that with Eberflus.
It's a good point. I'm not going to sit and act like I'm an Eberflus fan because I'm not. I'm not an Eberflus fan. I really don't think that he is right.
I don't like his face.
That's how I put his face. That's why I put his face up there because I don't like it. It's very punchable. I don't know what it is about it. I just don't punchable. What is right this time?
You make my fist want to meet your face.
Right. Is there anything I can do about it? No, it's your face. It just drives me nuts. But yes, I will say that I'm not an Eberflus fan. I really think that they need to find, because what's happening in the league, and this is definitely something that if I'm saying this, it has to be the gospel because I'm a defensive coach, right? I mean, Look at the moniker, you know the name, right? And if I'm saying that this league is offensive leaning, right, and the head man needs to be an offensive minded head coach, and you can find yourself a competent defensive coordinator, and that's how you win in this league now, that's what you should be doing. If you have a generational talent like Caleb Williams, you need to find a guy that is offensive minded, that is offensive
creative,
honest, creative, innovative, progressive. You find him and you get himself an understudy of an OC that can mimic that particular philosophy, and you can find a defense coordinator to make your defense not have to be winning shootouts. You can find it. Because what it really is about right now in this league right now is really about personnel for defense. It's so punitive to play defense in this league right now. The whole idea of having a schematic genius and guys that can really call good games defensively doesn't matter. It does not matter.
It's a waste of time almost.
Dogs on the defensive side of the ball, and you need somebody that can just put them in the right place at the right time and just not lose you games. But bottom line is you got to put up points. And to have a defensive-minded head coach with a generational talent like Caleb Williams at the helm now, I think it's a bad fit. It's a bad fit. It's one of those things where you like the girl in high school, but you knew that long term y'all weren't gonna be together. You need to find that girl in college or past your college career that's going to be your main thing, and you might end up being with her for a good while. I don't think this particular marriage is going to last. I think it's going to end in divorce, in my personal opinion. And they're gonna have to go to the drawing board and do what I'm saying and find an offensive guy that can go with Caleb. But I'm happy to be wrong because I want to see Caleb succeed. But for me, I don't think Shane Waldron coupled with Eberflus is going to be rocky. I think they're going to be good defensively. I do think they're going to, personnel-wise, they look much better on paper on both sides. But the only thing the outlier in this whole outfit is I'm just looking at Eberflus funny. I really am. I really am. And if he was not there, let's say Ben Johnson was there from the Lions or Callahan from the Titans, if they got an offensive guy in his place, I'd have been sky's the limit. Playoffs guaranteed, but he might be the only thing that's holding him back for my money. That's just me.
I think Poles and the management's perspective was simple. It's like if we have all these shakeups, all these roster shakeups, we got to have one person of consistency. So it's got to be the coach. It's got to be the coach, because if we switch out the coach, now we got a rookie coach, we got rookie staff all over the place.
Right.
That he might bring in guys that may or may not fit. But, the defense might take a step back, and it's like we gotta have the defense stay right where they are, or if not, get better. They finished, I think, 12th. When the end of the season,
right?
If they can get to like 8 or 9 by next year, and Caleb has a good season, we're in the playoffs. I think they just want to rock the boat. I do agree that it's not the long term. Like he's the stopgap coach.
Yes,
he
met
expectations.
A long time. Yes.
Yeah. He met the expectations. Winning 7-8 games. Last year we didn't have a great team, but is he the guy that's going to get you to the next level? probably not. Like you're gonna have to find somebody, but I can see why they kept him on for one more year at least.
Okay.
So, again, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I should. I'm
happy to be wrong for Caleb's sake. I'm happy to be wrong for Caleb's sake, but I'm not confident. Really not confident. But again, if he can just stay off the way and let them do what they do, then we might be all right. We might be all right with to see this team do well. All right, so let's